We never thought it would hit up here in these mountains like this. But when we walked down and seen that road gone and that bridge gone, I mean, it took my breath. I was like, what happened?
Lots of disaster in this area, a lot dead, a lot without power and water. We don't know when the water will be restored. I don't have either right now.
My son hiked 5 miles to get me. We went through all the devastation of there were no roads, there were no homes, there was nothing.
Just so much damage. It's been somewhat overwhelming. We feel like we're in a war zone.
And I've experienced guys coming up here from other cities packing up this free stuff that they are sending us, saying they're going to sell it. All donated goods for us. I mean, there's places that lost their homes. There's families that lost everything they had.
People have drove up and they've saw what we've got, and they've just covered their face in their hands, sobbing that they were able to find something to eat, something for their babies.
It's such an outreach from around the country. I mean, folks from all states coming in, and they're just helping us and bringing supplies in, truckload after truckload.
So if anybody needs it, we're here. And we will, as long as we have supplies, we will be here for the long haul.
I think that our government can do more. Because we're going to need the help. There's roads gone. It's going to take a lot to rebuild us.
There's so much more that could be done, and giving us $750 if you can even apply for it is ridiculous. And I've only heard of a handful of people getting approved. $750 isn't going to do anything even if you do get approved. Not with the damage we're seeing, not with the hurting that people are going through right now.
Where is the help for Western North Carolina? We can send billions to Ukraine, and we can't help Western North Carolina. We have spent all of this money on all of these people crossing our borders that are open, and now we're telling the people of America, the U.S., that need the money, we can't give you no money. That's our money. We pay it in, we work, and we should receive some benefit from the government with our own money. It's just not right. The people of Western North Carolina that are hit hard should not be suffering like this.
I don't think she's doing enough, and I don't think Biden's doing enough either. I'm sorry, I don't. Because I heard on the radio myself, so it ain't hearsay, Biden said, what storm?
Everybody I talk to, it's pretty much a slap in the face. We're not getting the support from her, from the president, the sitting president. We're just kind of having to suffer through it and figure it out on our own.
I would say to Kamala Harris, this tragedy did not happen in a nice neighborhood downtown Asheville. Step out, get your rain boots on, get your mud boots on, your gloves on, and go out there and walk through what I hiked through for 2.5 miles to get back to Asheville, to get back to my family. You hike it. Then you tell me what it's like. You step it up. You're up your game.
President Trump will do a lot. He's gonna help us.
He's definitely showing up, and he's making it known that he knows what's going on and that he wants to help.
We don't want to hand out. We want to hand up. And that's what Trump's going to do for us. We got to get him back in there.
I surely hope that the people of North Carolina and these affected places that tend to be red are able to get out and vote, because I suspect that it's probably in the benefit of Democrats for them not to be able to get to the polls as a result of what it is that we see happening in North Carolina. I want my tax dollars to go to the affected victims of North Carolina. I don't want my tax dollars. I'm tired of talking about all of these other places that's getting your money. I'm tired of our military resources going into places that have no vested interest in what happens here in the United States of America except for to take advantage of us. I don't want to participate in any more proxy wars. I don't care about what's going on in other places before I care about what's going on here in the United States of America. It's unfortunate that these people, good, hardworking Americans that are not the richest people in the world, are the ones that are suffering, at the hands of the failure of our federal government. Now, we can say a lot of things. We can go back and forth and we can have different conversations, but I'm telling you, she on the campaign trail right now. She's doing interviews with CNN. She's jumping on the campaign trail. She's flying only to the swing states. They went down there for a couple minutes in order to do a photo op. They did the plan to walk down to where it looked like she was talking to somebody and she was really concerned. Biden, and then here's the worst part about it. They showed up a week later and Trump beat them to the location of the most affected areas first. Is no way with the amount of money that we have allocated in our federal budget for the military and for other things, and they fight. I mean, they fight tooth and nail. The conversations of bipartisan agreement when it came to even funding our borders came as a result, and one of the reasons why it failed to pass through is because they also wanted to include a bunch of other stuff that had nothing to do with what was going on here. We've allocated so much money over here to illegal migrants coming into this country. We've allocated so much money over to BS and stuff that don't have no value. They spend all of their money and all of their time talking about reproductive rights, and they fly back and forth on Air Force Two and all of this stuff to these different places. But you telling me that the people of Asheville and the people in North Carolina and the people of Florida, they can't get no help, and that you got to apply for it, and they just completely silent. They waiting for their advisors to give them the right talking points before they can speak out to the people. You need talking points in order to speak out to the people to make sure that you represent and that you're viewed favorably instead of being on the ground and letting history tell your story. Then this is the people that you want as your leaders talking about coming together, but you can't even help the people in North Carolina, and they facing another storm. Milton is coming through right now, and it's reported to be a Category 5 as of the recording of this video. People are suffering. Absolutely. Absolutely. To see a state in the United States and people sitting here begging and sobbing and crying. And it's not the federal government that's even coming to their aid. You know who it is? It's other people that look just like you, that's helping the people, and they ain't got nothing. People that ain't got nothing helping the people that ain't got nothing, while our federal government is over here having a conversation about what's going on somewhere that ain't got nothing to do with us. Nothing to do with it. And you got to figure out how to apply for it. Apply for FEMA aid, and you may not even get approved. Depending on if, man, listen, bro. Listen, if God is not showing you, if he's not showing you, yet still giving you a choice on who you should elect for your leadership, and you still talking about dumb stuff like identity politics and whether or not she's a woman or she a black woman or anything like that, it's insane. I don't care if you're an elf. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you Macaulay Culkin. If you the best person for the job in times like this where things are dire, that's who I'm voting for. I'm going against my nature. I'm going against my morals. And I would say that, listen, if we had a viable candidate that was better than Kamala Harris, I would have voted in the primary, not for Kamala Harris, if it was another woman. I'm not even the type of person to ever look to a woman. My instincts is never to look to a woman to lead me. But I'm just telling you that not only her, but Biden, they are completely out of the loop. And they sitting here posturing and pivoting. And you got Tim Walz over here pulling up, talking about the most nonsensical things that we've ever seen in our entire life. Trump had to pull up with his own money and his own resources. And he appeared before y'all, and y'all are the president and the vice president of the United States of America. And you're not even showing the people and being there for the people. You sitting there talking about if you're not disgusted, if you're still voting the way that you're voting and you're not disgusted, then I'm disgusted for you. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. And then last but not least, come and kick it with me, man. I'm going to be in Atlanta, and then I'm going to be in Detroit. I love you. I appreciate y'all. Wake up. Wake up.